Hey, welcome back to the Junius Maltby channel. Look who's turning 200 years old. Saw this in the news recently and figured, you know what, this would make a good story because this is one of my favorite coins. I've talked about these in the past, the British sovereign, how it is just an iconic coin surrounded by a lot of history. And one of the biggest things when I look at sovereigns is I'm always curious because the British Empire was so big and so expansive. I'm always curious where the coin's been, how it got to where it is. And I've heard stories about sovereigns being found in stream beds or fields by metal detector, amateur metal detector people all over the world, throughout North America. And it's always curious to think about, where the metal came from, where the gold came from itself. With the British Empire being as big as it was, where did that gold come from? What coins may have been remelted and reformed to make that particular British sovereign? So I want to talk about the British sovereign real quick here. Take a look at some of the images. There's King George slaying the dragon on the reverse. This is the iconic reverse of the British sovereign, my favorite reverse for sure. And so here we go. Let's talk about where this design comes from, this 200-year-old design. Pistrucci's George. The temperamental Italian genius Benedetto Pistrucci had joined London's Royal Mint in June 1816. The master of the mint, William Wellesley-Pole, gave him the task of providing designs for the new coinage in general and the sovereign in particular. Pistrucci learned about St. George from a friend of Pole, Lady Spencer. She showed him a wax model of the saint and asked him to make another, quote, in the Greek style, unquote. When the commission was completed, Pistrucci suggested to Pole that the patron saint of England might provide a suitable subject for the new sovereign. Pole agreed, and for a fee of 100 guineas, Pistrucci provided a jasper cameo of St. George slaying the dragon for the mint engravers to reproduce in steel. As his model, Pistrucci used an Italian servant from Brunette's Hotel in Leicester Square. Pistrucci's George was shown mounted on a fiery steed, trampling a wounded dragon, its side pierced by a lance head. A fragment of the shattered haft lay on the ground. A second was clenched in George's right hand. The entire action was enclosed within a buckled garter, part of the insignia of the most noble order of the Garter, whose motto it bore. The garter's use was most apt. St. George is the patron saint of the order as well as of England. The initials WWP for William Wellesley-Pole appear on the buckle of the garter. Those of Benedetto Pistrucci occur on the ground under the broken haft of George's lance. Pistrucci had also provided the obverse effigy of the monarch. As the Royal Mint observes today, quote, the result is a masterpiece of numismatic art, a coin design combining such grace and dramatic impact that it now ranks as one of the best loved and most enduring of numismatic designs, unquote. Nonetheless, the public did not warm to the new coin. They had gotten used to the Bank of England's paper money during the Napoleonic Wars and now preferred it. The lack of demand for sovereigns saw a reduction in the number of coins minted in successive years of George III's reign, 3,235,239 in 1817, 2,347,230 in 1818, and just 3,574 in 1819. A small number of proofs were produced each year. So here's a design Pistrucci's masterpiece, choice example of one of the original 1817 sovereigns of George III. Note the buckled garter about the reverse image, the streamer attached to St. George's helmet, and the broken lance haft held in his hand. All are distinctive features of this first British sovereign design. These first Royal Mint milled sovereigns were all struck to a very high standard. Hard to see, but above the date in the center on each reverse is Sydney Mint S, Melbourne Mint M, and Perth Mint P, mint marks on Pistrucci's St. George reverses. So there's several examples of the reverse. And here we can see Bombay, Ottawa, and Pretoria mint marks. The reverse of the 2017 sovereign, struck to mark the 200th anniversary of the British coin, reproduces the 1817 design by Benedetto Pistrucci, in which the vignette of St. George slaying the dragon is enclosed in a buckled garter emblazoned with the motto of the chivalric order of the Garter. The obverse shows the effigy of the Queen by Jody Clark. So there's the 2017 British sovereign. Definitely a gold coin that I would like to add to my collection at some point. I do enjoy the British sovereign. Its size, its history, and of course the image on the reverse most of all. Alright, hope you enjoyed this small and brief discussion regarding one of the world's most famous and iconic gold coins. If you did enjoy it, please smash the thumbs up button, leave a comment and compliment, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe here at the Junius Maltby channel and explore some of the archives and other videos. And always join the discussion. Thank you.